Good morning, everyone. This is Chair Yoga, and I'm Barbara. Happy to be with you live and in person and on YouTube. We will get started. Just a couple things to remember. This is a gentle, mindful movement practice. I'm going to give you lots of options, and you get to make your own wise choice about what feels right for you in this moment. So if you're taking care of a certain part of your body or a certain part of your heart, just do that. Take very good care. If you joined us and simply sat and breathed with kind awareness, that would be a beautiful use of this time. So always staying in our pain-free range of motion. So it's fine to feel sensation, some stretch. You don't want to feel any strain or pain. And with that, we'll get started. So the first part of our class is always just kind of centering, wherever you're coming from, whatever you've been doing this morning. This is the time to just kind of like let go of the past, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 decades, and see if you can be just right here, right now. If you'd like, you could close your eyes during this part of class. You could close your eyes during any part of class. And just begin to shift your awareness from everything going on around you to what's going on inside of you. You might start by just noticing the physical sensation of sitting here in the chair. You might feel that sense of gravity kind of weighting you down into the chair, feeling your feet on the floor or wherever your feet might be. You might notice temperature of the room, how it feels on your skin. You might notice surface sensation. You might notice deeper sensation in the muscles or the joints. Let's just take a few quiet moments, a few quiet breaths, just to settle in, observing with compassion, kindness, and curiosity what is going on in our physical body in this moment. And then shifting our awareness to our emotional body, our thoughts, our feelings. Just again, observing with compassion, kindness, and curiosity, letting go of any judgments that we might feel about what we are thinking, what we are feeling, and just allowing those things to be. Noticing maybe how quickly or slowly our thoughts are moving this morning. Perhaps noticing the content of our thinking without getting caught up in the content of our thinking. So it's like sitting on a hillside, looking at the clear blue sky of our mind as the clouds roll in and out. You might notice each thought as a cloud. So we're just sitting on the hillside, watching the clouds go by. Without flying up into the sky and riding those clouds, although that sounds nice too. And we can observe our sensations in the same way, our emotions. And maybe you have a name for one or more of your emotions that you're feeling this morning. And however you are showing up, whatever level of emotionality, whatever is going on in your thinking, whatever you're experiencing in your body, know that it is perfectly okay. And if you like, you could take a hand and place it on your heart as sort of a physical symbol that you are bringing compassion to yourself, to whatever you are feeling in this moment. That we can always meet whatever we're experiencing with compassion. And even if sometimes we're not sure how to do that, we can symbolize to ourselves that we're doing it by placing a hand on our heart. And we're going to begin now to add a little more movement to our practice. So just noticing the flow of your breathing, noticing your whole body breathing. And even if you are sitting in stillness, that active breathing is really this dynamic, kind of moving, flowing activity. So just kind of sensing your inhales and your exhales, feeling that in your body. And you don't need to change a thing about your breath, just noticing it exactly as it is. And you might notice as we move through our practice how our breathing changes as we move. Sometimes it might be longer, slower. Sometimes it might feel stronger. Just observe. So maybe relaxing your arms down by your side. And let's come to our first posture, our seated mountain pose. So remember, if you are joining us from home, we want to have a chair that is steady and sturdy on a non-slip surface. Last week I said non-stick surface. We definitely want the chair to stick. Non-slip surface. And you might come away a little bit from the back of your chair so you feel a sense of lightness and lift in the spine with the feet perhaps firmly planted on the floor. Sometimes our feet might not reach the floor depending on the chair, and maybe put some books under your feet, just to kind of feel that connection. So as you breathe, when you inhale, you might think about sort of that lightness, that liftness. As you exhale, feeling everything else kind of relax down. So with each inhale, feeling light and length. With each exhale, release and relax. And then on the next inhale, let's just let the hands float up in front as we inhale. And then exhale, let them float back down. Inhale as they float up. Maybe now slowing down the breath as we slow down the movement, and exhale as they float down. Just feeling that connection, mind, body, and breath. Maybe they rise a little bit more, maybe we feel a little more stretch, or maybe we keep it just soft and lower. See what feels right in your body in this moment. Let your yoga practice be a tool for you to serve you. How about out to the side? Inhale, reaching out and up. Like big bird wings, exhale, floating out and down. Just noticing the difference. Moving the arms to the side versus the front. You might notice different muscles, different sensation. Maybe one more like that. Let's float the hands back down, noticing the sensation when we stop the movement. Notice any changes in the breath. Let's do some nice arm circles one at a time. So, might just reach the arm forward, around and back. Maybe inhale as we reach forward and up. Exhale around and back. So moving through your comfortable range of motion. If this is too much, make that movement much smaller. You could even bring your fingertips to your shoulder if that feels better. Or you could even leave your hand by your side and just roll your shoulder. If it feels good, you could add just a little bit of a twist as your arm comes back. So maybe following your fingertips with your gaze. One more like that. And coming back to center. Pause and breathe. And other side. Nice and slow. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the movement. There's so much to notice when we slow down. If you'd like to follow your fingertips with your gaze, you could do that. Adds just a little bit of a twist. You might be inhaling as the arm comes up, slowly exhaling as it comes back and down. Maybe one more like that. And come back to center. Beautiful. Let's do a little bit of a forward fold. So we're just going to hinge forward. For now, I'm going to keep my back long. So just hinging forward like my belly is coming down towards my lap. And then I'm just going to let my head hang down. And then just rolling back up. Letting the head come back to center. And hinging forward. Releasing the weight of the head if that feels okay. Slowly rolling up. Always listening to your body and making any adjustments that make the pose more satisfying, more comfortable. If you'd like, you could add some arms here. So maybe take the arms out and up. And then forward fold. You could bring your hands to your lap or down towards your feet. From here, with the hands maybe on the knees, let's just lift the heart a little bit. So we're just sort of coming halfway up. So just kind of lengthening the spine halfway up. and then folding forward. And then you can either keep your hands on your lap to roll up, or you could reach them out to the side and up. Palms together overhead. Bring them back to the heart. Nice. Let's try that flow again. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, nice and slow, forward fold. Relaxing and rounding. Halfway up, lift the heart, long spine, shoulder blades sliding down the back. Exhale and fold. And then coming all the way up, arms might come out to the side and up. Palms together to the heart. Nice. Let's add on from here. We're going to add on a little side bend. So let's take both arms up. And then just lower one hand, maybe to your chair, maybe to your lap, and reach the other fingertips up, lengthening that side body. Let's just stay here and take a couple of breaths, if that feels good. Those muscles get very tight between the rib cage. Notice how your breath even further expands. Let's inhale, bring those fingertips up. Exhale, lower it down. Nice. Other side. Breathing here, maybe lifting a little bit taller. Maybe noticing where you feel that sensation. You could roll that shoulder back if that feels good. You could turn the gaze up to the upper elbow if that feels good. On your next inhale, lifting up, lower it down. Nice. Maybe roll it out a little bit, shake it out a little bit. And we're just going to add that on to our flow. So inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Halfway up, lift the heart, shoulder blades slide down the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping out and up, or just rolling up. Side bend. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, up, palms together. Exhale to the heart. Let's flow like that 2 more times. Inhale up. Taking a break anytime you like. Forward fold. Halfway up, lift the heart. Exhale and fold. Out and up. Side bend. Both arms up. Side bend. Both arms up, palms together. Exhale to the heart. Nice. Last one like that. Inhale up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And fold. All the way up. Side bend. Both arms up. Side bend. Both arms up. Palms together. Centered and calm. You can rest your hands in your lap if you like. Just notice, tune in. Notice how that feels. Let's step our feet a little bit wider. And just resting your hands on your knees or on your thighs. Let's do that forward fold, or the hinging forward motion now with a little bit wider stance. So just hinging forward. And then slowly coming up, either with a flat back or rolling up if that feels better. And then hinging forward. Rolling up or flat back. And just take a couple more like that. Just noticing the sensation in your inner thighs. You might feel this in your back. You can experiment with how wide of a stance to take. How far forward to go. And you can continue to flow, or if it feels good just to hang here for a few moments, you could do that, either with your hands on your knees, or if you can reach your hands to the floor. If that feels good, making sure you feel nice and steady over your chair so that you're not going to topple forward. You might let the head hang down like a pendant on a chain. You could even nod your head, yes please. Shake your head, no thank you. Coming up whenever you are ready. You could take another couple breaths here. Whatever feels right for you. You could heel toe your feet together a little bit if that would feel better, coming up with a little bit more narrow stance. You could bring your hands to your knees and slowly rise up. Walking the feet together, maybe march it out. Coming back to our seated mountain. Let's extend one leg, bringing the heel to the floor. And just draw the toes back towards the knee. So just flexing the foot. You can flex your wrist too if you like. And then press the foot forward. Stretch your fingertips down. And flex. And press. And flex. And press. Okay, pause here and just bring your attention to your hips. Sort of press into your hips to get a little bit more length in the spine. So we're strengthening all the muscles that hold us in good posture. Shoulders relax down. And let's do that again. So flex and press and flex and press and flex and press. And then let's stay in that nice flexed position and get it sitting up maybe a little bit taller, tall, 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 supporting yourself on that bent leg side. And if you like, you might hinge again from the hips just until you feel a little more sensation in the back of that leg. That knee is soft. We're not locking out the joint. And then slowly coming up. Let's walk that foot in, march it out a little bit. Going to the other side now. Knee is soft, not locked out, but the leg is long. Heels on the floor, toes coming back towards the knee. Let's flex and press and flex and press. Maybe sitting up a little taller, see how that feels, and press, flex, and press, and then staying in that nice flexed position, sitting up tall, supporting ourselves on the opposite leg, and hinging forward. Finding that place of satisfying sensation, but without any strain or pain. Breathing and relaxing into that place. And when the mind wanders, which it will, because that's what our minds do, if we're practicing mindfulness, then the invitation is to notice that it's wandered, sort of give yourself a mental pat on the back for noticing, for waking up, and bringing your awareness back to the sensations in your body and your breath. And we do that over and over and over and over and over again. Slowly coming up. And walk that foot back in. March it out a little bit. Coming back to our seated mountain pose. And you can bring the thigh in towards the chest and lower it down. And other side. Lower it down. Now, as we do this, see if you can let your heart kind of meet your thigh rather than rocking back in your chair. So let's try that again. So drawing thigh towards the chest, heart towards the knee, and lower. Other side. And lower. Now, if you would like to add on, and this, requires some engagement in the core here, and if it's not okay for your low back, you have to listen to those messages. Drawing the thigh in, heart towards the knee, and then if you like, you can extend it. My foot is flexed. I'm lengthening the leg. You could hold on to the chair or not. And draw it in, sitting tall, and lower it down. Other side. Draw it in. Extend, draw it in, tall, 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 and lower. Nice. Let's try that a few more times on each side, sort of going back and forth, knowing that you can take a rest anytime you like. And I might add some arms in there as an option. Okay, draw it in, extend, draw it in, and lower. Other side, sitting up tall, foot is flexed, extend. Foot is flexed and lower. If you'd like to add some arms, you could draw your knee in, lift your arms up, take the arms out as the leg extends, draw everything up and lower, everything up, extending out and lift, tall, 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 and lower. Once more on each side maybe. Lift, extend, lift and lower, lift, extend, lift and lower. Very nice. Shake it out. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit. So moving on to a little more hip action. Let's take one ankle, and you can either cross your ankle, you can bring it up above your knee, or if it's comfortable in your body, you can sit in this, sometimes we call this a figure 4 position. If that's too much for your knee, you're feeling kind of tweaky in there, then go ahead and extend that leg a little bit, or just cross your ankles. Okay, so sitting in our nice figure 4 position, let's start with rolling the ankle. You might notice noises, crickety cracks, changing direction. Can we bring all of our awareness to the sensation in the foot and see what might be interesting there? And then with the foot, maybe it's kind of gently flexed. Just going to support my knee, sitting up tall, 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 and then I'm just going to draw my knee towards my heart and let it come back out to the side. Let's do that a few times. Maybe inhaling as you draw it in, exhaling as it opens. So now I'm going to draw my knee in, kind of clasp around the knee, and sit up tall, tall, tall. You might feel a little more stretch in the outer hip here. And if it feels good, you could even twist a bit to the side and breathe. Noticing if you sort of have an urge to kind of slouch in that low back, see if you can press into those sits bones and sit up a little taller. And then gently come back to center. Gently let that knee come out to the side. And then from here, if you like, you can begin to explore that space between your heart and the thigh, sitting up tall, tall, tall. Shoulders relaxed down, face and jaws relaxed. And then just hinging forward. And getting curious about your breath here, you might notice as you exhale, you might sink a little more into the pose. If you find that your teeth are clenched or you're not breathing, that's your body's signal to maybe back off a little bit. Breathing deeply into the sensation that you find. And when you're ready, slowly coming back up. I'm going to clasp underneath my knee, gently release that leg, and just let that lower leg swing. And float that leg down, and other side. So either crossing at the ankles or over the knee, or bringing that foot underneath the knee and rolling the foot in one direction. Rolling the foot in the other direction. And then supporting that knee as we draw it up towards the heart and let it open to the side. And do that a few times. And then sitting up nice and tall, drawing that knee up, maybe clasping it with both hands. Maybe taking that gentle twist in the direction of the top leg. Nice, full, deep breaths. And coming back to center, let that leg open up a bit. And then pressing our bottom into the chair, getting nice and tall here. And just that act of lengthening the spine here, you're probably feeling more sensation in the hip. If you'd like to press forward a bit, you could certainly do that. Maybe noticing if this side feels different than the other side. Just getting curious about our body. Take another breath or two or three here. And when you feel ready, slowly coming up, clasping underneath that knee, making a little hammock for the lower leg to swing. And then float that leg to the ground. So let's take the opposite leg, and this time we're going to bring it out to an angle. We could walk the other foot out. So we have a little bit more of an open stance here. So I'm on my heel, the foot is flexed, and this knee is sort of tracking over the toe. So from here, my body is my shoulders are facing forward, thighs are open, spine is long. I'm just going to bring my forearm down to my thigh and reach the other fingertips up towards the ceiling. And on an inhale, rising back up, lowering that hand down. So we can do that same movement again, or we can reach the arm to an angle. And I'll show you how we do that. So forearm can come to the thigh, fingertips can come up to the ceiling, or we can reach them up overhead to the opposite wall. Gaze can be forward, it can be down to the lower leg, or it can be up towards that upper elbow. And just staying here maybe for another couple of breaths. You might feel your torso sort of rotating a bit towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, lifting through those fingertips, rising up and lowering it down. Nice. Let's walk that foot in, step the feet together, and other side. So extending the opposite leg, toes towards the knee. The other foot comes out to the side, nice wide stance. And then letting that forearm come down to the thigh, other fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Feeling that openness across the chest. On your next inhale, rising up, lower that hand down. We'll do it one more time. You can add that kind of little more of an angle on the upper arm if you like. So bringing the forehand down, forearm down, fingertips to the ceiling, or reaching up and overhead. Think about rolling that upper shoulder back if that feels good. Gaze can be straight ahead, down to the floor, or up towards the ceiling. Nice full deep breaths here. And on the next inhale, lifting tall and lowering that down. Nice. Let's walk the feet in. We're still going to keep this wide stance here. And bringing the hands to the knees, we'll do that hinging forward motion that we did before. And then just draw one shoulder towards the middle. You could turn your gaze over the opposite shoulder in whatever, however comfortable that is for you. And then switching sides. And shifting from side to side. You can play with the hand position on the legs. If one position doesn't feel quite right for you, just move around and see what feels good. So if you remember what side you started on, I think I started with my right shoulder forward, ending with my left shoulder forward, and slowly come back up. And if you don't remember, it doesn't matter. Coming back to our seated mountain pose, let's do a little spinal twist. I'm going to do a twist with my legs crossed tight. If you prefer to keep both feet on the floor, that's totally fine. I'm going to bring my left leg is on top. I'm bringing my opposite hand to that knee. I'm placing my other hand on the chair behind me. And before I twist, I'm going to press my bottom into the chair, sit nice and tall, shoulders relax down. Inhale here and exhale. Gently twist over that top leg. And with each inhale, I'm thinking about lengthening up the spine all the way through the crown of the head. And with each exhale, I'm relaxing a little more deeply into the pose. And when you're ready, inhale to grow a little bit taller. Exhale, unwind and change sides. Opposite hand on the knee, other hand on the chair or the back of the chair. Inhale to get tall. Exhale and gently twist. Inhale to grow a little bit taller. Exhale, unwind and uncross. Let's stir the pot. So with a nice tall spine, maybe to start, just circling around. You could keep the spine tall. You could keep the rotation small. You could begin to just explore, maybe rounding, moving the spine, a little more churning. Maybe inhaling around front, exhaling around back. Slowly making your way back to center and changing direction. Again, maybe starting with a tall spine, small rotations, and maybe this feels great and you just want to stay with this. Maybe you want to get a little wider. Maybe you want to get a little more shoulder action or movement in the back. Just see what your inner teacher is suggesting. Slowly coming back to center. Nice. Bring your feet into any comfortable position. And we're just going to end our seating portion with a little bit more movement in our neck. So imagine that you have a paintbrush on your nose and a beautiful canvas in front of you. And we're just going to paint little circles. You could do this with your eyes open or closed. You might even imagine the color that you are painting with, or colors or sparkles or whatever you like. And then you could let those circles spiral wider, nice and slow. always aware of lots of noise in my neck when I do this one. And as long as I am moving mindfully, wisely, in my pain-free range of motion, I know I'm being safe. Slowly coming back to center. Let's just take a look up and a gentle look down. Nice and slow. Up and down. One more. And coming back to center. And then we'll do our painting in the opposite direction. See if we remember. See if I remember what I just did. And if you start and think, oh, this feels really familiar, then it's probably the direction you already went. Nice and slow. Relaxing shoulders, relaxing arms and jaw. Slowly coming back to center. And let's take our gaze over to the right. Gently come back to center and over to the left. And to the right. Look at the beautiful sight over there. And to the left. Once more. To the left. And back to center. And we're just going to stand for a few moments before we settle in for final relaxation. If you would like to stand, let's just go ahead and do that nice and slow using our mindfulness muscle to really just kind of observe the sensation of shifting the weight of the muscles, activating, and coming into our standing mountain pose. So feet maybe about hip width apart. Just feel the feet firmly rooted into the floor. Maybe even sense the energy from the ground beneath you entering your feet, rising up through your legs, through your spine, through the crown of your head, shoulders rolled back and down, knees are soft. Let's bring our hands by our side and inhale, bring those arms out and up. Exhale, centered and calm. Two more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Relax your hands down by your side, and we'll just take a little swing from side to side, letting the arms just move from centrifugal force. I think that's the force. So we're just letting the spine rotate from side to side. Let the arms just kind of swing. Slowly coming back to center. And I'm going to teach you a little breath this morning. So, in yoga, we just let the breath flow free and easy. And most of the time we are using our breath. We are not intentionally doing things with our breath. We're just letting the breath flow. The body just breathes. But the breath is an interesting thing because we can also be intentional about how we use it. And there are many breath practices that can be either energizing or balancing or relaxing. So I'm going to teach you something today called the breath of joy. And it goes with our movements. And so it's kind of like conducting an orchestra and using your breath as well. So, the orchestra will conduct bringing the arms out and then forward and then out and then and we're just going to kind of let everything forward. So it's a sniff in, out. Okay? So it looks like this. Okay? All right, so it's sniff in, and then a ha. You can make it as loud as you want through your mouth. Okay? And you can come as far forward as you want, comfortably, safely. Okay, so we're going to try that 3 times in a row. If you get lightheaded, your chair's right there. Sit down, be safe. All right, here we go. Ready, go. And then come back to center. Just pause and breathe. Just notice how you feel. Just notice whatever energy is kind of churning up. If you like, you could have a seat. If you like, you could join me again for one more round of 3. Okay. And if your arms are doing something different than mine, doesn't matter. Okay, so the idea is in, ha. Okay? So let's start with a nice deep breath in and out, and then we'll move into it. So here we go. Inhale, exhale, and begin. And come back to mountain. Okay, have a seat. Kind of like a quick little espresso, right? Okay, so moving into our final relaxation, you could sit all the way back in your chair. You could lay on the floor. You could be on the floor with your legs up the chair. You could go to bed. You could do anything you want. So during this final part of class, your eyes could be open or closed. You might add layers for warmth. I'll make sure that I bring it to a close at noon, so about 5 or 6 minutes. But of course, you could always just continue in relaxation. If you're laying on the floor, sometimes it's nice to have pillows under your knees, under your head, a blanket, lots of options. And just to begin to settle in. Feeling the weight of the body sinking into the chair or the floor. Feeling completely supported by the floor beneath you. And just floating on the rhythm of your own breath. With each inhale, feel that breath like healing, soothing energy, nourishing and nurturing every cell of your being. And with each exhale, releasing, relaxing, letting go. Letting go of anything that is no longer serving you in this present moment. So So inhaling, nourishing, nurturing, exhaling, releasing, relaxing. Just rest, breathe, and be. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Letting each breath carry us deeper beneath the sensations in our physical body, beneath the weather of our current mood, to that deep knowing place, that place that is unchanging, unlimited wisdom, compassion, and peace. And we rest in this place and breathe. And as you rest and breathe, integrating all the benefits, mind, body, and spirit of your yoga practice this morning, and knowing that the gifts of your practice last long beyond your time here in the chair, you might take a moment to just notice any shifts or changes from the beginning of your practice this morning in your physical body, in your emotional body, thoughts and feelings. Maybe noticing any areas of greater openness or ease, perhaps any areas of greater freedom, maybe feeling a little more connected to that deep internal place that nourishes and sustains us in all things. If you would like, you could stay here in this state for as long as you like. If you are ready to move on with your day, you might begin wiggling your fingers and toes, taking maybe a few deeper breaths, slowly making your way into a comfortable seated posture, perhaps. Beginning to maybe take in more of the sounds and sights of the room you are in. feeling a little more restive and alert with each breath. Perhaps ending as we began with a symbol, maybe hand over the heart, or whatever symbol feels right for you, that you are showering yourself with compassion and kindness in this moment, with the intention of doing that in each moment. If you like, you could bring your palms together to heart center. Peace, shanti, shalom, salam, peace. May peace fill you, and may you be an instrument of peace in your own life and in the lives of all of those that you touch. And as we open our eyes into the next moment of our life, we say what means the light in me bows to and honors the light in you. Namaste. Okay.